Have you ever paused to consider why one of the most celebrated works in classical history was kept in a drawer for 35 years? This was not merely a collection of musical animal portraits. It is a calculated act of professional survival and a biting critique of the Parisian elite. This journey into the hidden world of Camille Saint-Saëns begins with a single profound mystery. Good evening. I am reporting from the heart of the French musical tradition to uncover a story of satire, secrecy, and symphonic genius. In 1886, during a brief retreat in an Austrian village, Camille Saint-Saëns composed a suite that would capture the world's imagination. However, he deemed it too frivolous for his serious reputation as a French intellectual and a titan of the conservatory. Today, we perform a deep forensic analysis of the Grand Fantaisie zoologique, examining the 18 distinct instruments and the profound musical mockery hidden within every measure. We will explore the historical data and the socio-political climate of the 19th century that shaped this masterpiece. Let us begin this epic 20-minute journey through the Carnival of the Animals. To truly understand the weight of this composition, we must examine the specific year of 1886 in detail. Camille Saint-Saëns was 51 years old and had already solidified his legacy with the Organ Symphony. He was a champion of traditional French forms and was often in ideological conflict with the rising tide of Wagnerian influence across Europe. The foundation of his musical philosophy was built upon the rigorous standards of the Paris Conservatory, where he was once a child prodigy. The historical records indicate that he was at the height of his powers, yet he felt a growing disconnect with the changing musical tastes of the younger generation of composers. The Carnival of the Animals was written for a private concert organized by the cellist Charles Lebouc, intended for a small circle of his closest friends. It was a period when musical rivalries in Paris were at an all-time high, with composers using their works to comment on each other's styles with varying degrees of subtlety. Saint-Saëns utilized a precise instrumentation consisting of 2 pianos, 2 violins, viola, cello, double bass, flute, clarinet, glass harmonica, and xylophone. This specific combination allowed for a transparency of sound that could highlight every satirical nuance and rhythmic complexity without the weight of a full orchestral ensemble. Every instrument was chosen for its unique ability to characterize a specific animal. The first private performance took place on Shrove Tuesday, a day traditionally associated with celebration and mockery before the solemnity of Lent. Saint-Saëns restricted its public publication in his last will and testament, fearing it would overshadow his more serious symphonic achievements during his lifetime. He believed that the humor and playfulness of the suite would be misinterpreted by a public that demanded constant seriousness from their cultural icons. This document represents a struggle between his private creative wit and his public persona as a musical conservative and defender of tradition. Every note was a secret shared only with those he trusted most in the musical elite of Paris. The central problem Saint-Saëns faced was the balance between his public persona as a serious academic and his private wit. In the late 19th century, the Parisian musical establishment was incredibly rigid, often dismissing any work that incorporated humor as a lack of intellectual depth. This created a profound professional conflict for a man who possessed a sharp and often biting sense of satire. Every cluck and roar was a hidden message directed at the elite circles of the Parisian music salons. This was not just a suite for children, but a sophisticated intellectual game played at the highest level of composition and cultural critique of the era. The movement titled Tortues contains the most famous example of musical mockery. Saint-Saëns takes the high-speed Galop Infernal from Offenbach's Orpheus in the Underworld and slows it down by a factor of 8 to a crawling pace. The strings play the normally energetic melody with a heavy, plodding vibrato that completely transforms the dance into a comedic and agonizing crawl. This was a sophisticated insult to the popular musical tastes of the time, suggesting that the public's favorite melodies were actually quite monotonous when analyzed slowly and without the distraction of a fast tempo. The 2 pianos provide a simple accompaniment that echoes the slow steps of a giant tortoise. In the movement, L'Éléphant, Saint-Saëns assigns a delicate and light waltz melody to the double bass, the heaviest instrument in the orchestra. He specifically quotes the Dance of the Sylphs by Hector Berlioz and the Scherzo from Mendelssohn's A Midsummer Night's Dream. By forcing the heavy double bass to perform these light, ethereal melodies, he creates a vivid image of an elephant trying to dance a delicate ballet. The technical difficulty for the double bassist is immense, as they must maintain a sense of grace while navigating the deep and heavy registers of the instrument. Every growl of the bass is a humorous attempt at grace that defines the character of the movement. The core content of the suite is a brilliant display of instrumental characterization. In the sixth movement, Kangurus, Saint-Saëns utilizes the two pianos to depict the jumping motion of the iconic Australian marsupial. The music is characterized by sudden, jerky chords followed by periods of silence, representing the kangaroo's pause between jumps. He uses a specific rhythmic pattern known as an acciaccatura to create the sense of a sudden takeoff from the ground. There are exactly 22 jumping motifs distributed throughout the movement, each increasing in intensity as the animal gains speed across the terrain. Every pause is as important as the notes themselves. Aquarium is arguably the most atmospheric and innovative movement, featuring the hauntingly beautiful sound of the glass harmonica. Saint-Saëns uses the two pianos to create flowing, arpeggiated figures that mimic the constant movement of water and the shimmering of fish scales. This movement is often cited as a direct precursor to the Impressionist movement in music, anticipating the styles of Debussy and Ravel. The movement is written in a minor, but the constant chromaticism creates a sense of fluid and ever-shifting tonality that mesmerizes the listener. It contains over 400 individual notes in the flute part alone, each one contributing to the dense and shimmering texture. Personnage à longues oreilles represents the sharpest sting in the suite, utilizing violins to mimic the braying of a stubborn donkey. Many musicologists believe this was a direct attack on the stubborn music critics of Paris who had been unkind to his serious works. The Cuckoo in the Heart of the Woods features a hauntingly repetitive two-note motif played by a clarinet hidden from the audience's view to create a sense of distance. Voliere is a dazzling display of flute virtuosity, requiring extreme breath control to mimic the rapid warbling and flight of many birds. The strings provide a constant tremolo background that mimics the fluttering of thousands of wings. In the movement titled Pianistes, Saint-Saëns mocks his own profession by having the performers play basic finger exercises with deliberate errors. This self-deprecating humor highlights the repetitive and often monotonous nature of achieving technical mastery at a professional level. It reminds the audience that even the greatest virtuosos had to start with these simple and often boring exercises. The duration is approximately 1 minute, but it packs a significant amount of satirical punch. It is one of the most unique movements in history, as it requires highly skilled performers to play badly on purpose. Every rhythmic irregularity is written into the score to achieve this effect. Fossile celebrates the past by quoting his own Danse Macabre and several popular French nursery rhymes from the era. The xylophone represents the rattling of ancient bones, creating a skeletal and percussive sound world that is both eerie and humorous. He also quotes an aria from Rossini's The Barber of Seville, adding another layer of operatic parody to the tapestry. This movement is an intricate web of musical references that reward the listener's deep knowledge of music history. The rhythmic drive is relentless, with the xylophone providing a sharp and clear articulation for every single note of the skeletal dance. It is an innovative work for its period. Following the suite's public release in 1922, it rapidly became one of the 10 most frequently performed works in the repertoire. Data from international concert programming confirms that its popularity transcends national boundaries and all cultural barriers. It has served as a foundational tool for music education, introducing millions of children to the instruments of the modern orchestra. The structural innovation of the 14 movements influenced generations of film composers who utilize similar character-driven motifs. We can observe how the work has transcended its original context as a private joke to become a global cultural phenomenon enjoyed by millions. We can observe its impact in the early works of animation pioneers who found inspiration in the vivid musical descriptions of animal behavior. Academic research suggests that the suite bridges the gap between the Romantic traditions and the dawn of modern musical thought. The technical precision of the counterpoint remains a standard for evaluation in prestigious conservatories around the globe today. Every instrument was pushed to its absolute potential, showcasing Saint-Saëns' complete mastery of orchestral color and rhythmic drive. It remains a favorite of audiences worldwide, proving that great music can be both intellectually rigorous and immensely entertaining. The pedagogical value of Le Carnaval des animaux is immense, providing a clear and engaging introduction to the different voices of the orchestra. Historical evidence confirms that despite his initial fears, the suite actually solidified his reputation as a versatile genius. We can analyze the many recordings and interpretations that have emerged over the last century to understand its evolving meaning. The interplay between satire and sincere beauty remains a core topic of debate among the academic elite. Saint-Saëns successfully challenged the social norms of his time while creating something that remains vibrantly alive in our modern world. It is a monument to artistic expression. The mathematical precision of his compositions continues to fascinate scholars and listeners alike. We conclude this deep dive with a sense of wonder at the power of music to reflect and transform our world. Every note we have heard today is a piece of a larger puzzle that Saint-Saëns carefully constructed over a century ago. It is an honor to witness and analyze such a magnificent and enduring contribution to the world of art. The animals have performed their final dance, and the curtain falls on this grand zoological satire. Camille Saint-Saëns remains a titan of the French tradition, and his zoological fantasy is his most colorful monument. We return to the most enduring and beloved movement, Le Cygne, for a deeper analysis of its structural and emotional perfection. This piece is written in the key of G major and follows a clear and traditional ABA structure that emphasizes the eternal beauty of the melodic line. The cello's performance must be characterized by a deep, resonant tone and a perfect legato that never breaks the continuous flow of the music. The two pianos provide a shimmering accompaniment that represents the gentle movement of water beneath the swan's wings. Saint-Saëns achieved a level of emotional depth here that stands in contrast to the humor of the other movements. This single movement ensured that Saint-Saëns would be remembered as a master of melody. It has since become the basis for the famous ballet solo, The Dying Swan, choreographed for Anna Pavlova in the early 20th century. The enduring popularity of this movement is a testament to the universal appeal of its simple and elegant melody. We can analyze the harmonic progression to understand how it creates such a profound sense of peace and reflection in the listener. Every note is perfectly placed to evoke the image of a graceful swan moving effortlessly through time and space. It is an archaeological masterpiece. The rhythmic stability of the accompaniment provides a solid foundation for the cello's expressive and soaring melody. It is truly a work of genius that balances technical demand with emotional depth and clarity of vision. We conclude our movement analysis with this crowning achievement of Saint-Saëns' long and distinguished career. The swan glides into the history books, immortalized by the very notes we hear today. Every note is a drop of pure beauty in a vast and complex ocean of creative brilliance. Let the swan take its final bow in the grand theater of our minds. It remains a work of profound inspiration for all. The finale brings all the animals back for one last grand and festive parade that celebrates the entire suite. Saint-Saëns cleverly weaves themes from the previous movements into a celebratory C major conclusion that is both joyous and triumphant. It is a fitting end to a journey that has taken us from the royal march of the lion to the grace of the swan. This is the moment of decision for every listener, to embrace the humor and the beauty of this hidden masterpiece. The data confirms its place among the greats. Every note is a triumph of the human spirit. This concludes our exhaustive 20-minute investigation into the hidden world of Camille Saint-Saëns and his grand zoological fantasy. We have explored the depths of satire, the heights of virtuosity, and the enduring power of a musical legacy that was almost lost to time. I hope this detailed analysis has provided you with a new and profound perspective on this beloved masterpiece of the 19th century. May your appreciation for the arts continue to grow with every note you hear in the future. I am James, reporting on the timeless beauty of classical music. Thank you for your attention and your passion for learning about the history of sound. Until next time, keep listening and keep exploring the wonders of the artistic world. 구독과 좋아요를 눌러주세요. 감사합니다.